Sounds dreadful. A horrible science book by Nick Arnold. Sounds dreadful. Illustrated by Tony J. Sauls. Read by Vienna Vance. Introduction. Listen to this. The younger you are, the louder you are. Babies love making noise. Rattle, wag, wag, rattle, rattle, wag, wag. And so do kids. I can yell louder than you. Bet you can't. And teenagers think really loud music is brilliant. Blast, boom. Turn that thing off. But as people grow older, they change. They settle down and quieten down. Your parents no longer think loud is good. They think that anything loud sounds dreadful, especially loud sounds made by you. Will you kids be quiet if you stop shouting at us? So you'd better read this book quietly. And guess what? Teachers are even worse. No talking in class or in the corridor. And if you must breathe, do it quietly. A quiet class is a happy class. In fact, the only sound teachers seem to enjoy is the sound of their own voices, sounding off about boring things, like science, for example. And just to put you off the idea of making noise, teachers teach you about sound in science. Sound waves are molecular vibrations, blah, 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 witter. Sounds dreadful, doesn't it? But it doesn't have to be. Listen to a few more exciting sound facts and see if they make your ears prick up. A single note can shatter glass. Sound makes your eyeballs shiver in their sockets. Sound stuns and even kills people. And that's not all. This book is full of facts about a world of dreadful sounds, from bells that can burst your blood vessels to sinister sound guns that can make you dash for the toilet. Read all about it, and afterwards you can sound off in science class to your heart's content. You're bound to get a good hearing, and who knows, you could become a big noise in science. One thing's for sure, the world will never sound the same to you again. So now that you're all ears, just turn the page. Sounding off. What do the following have in common? A. Your pet mouse. B. Your science teacher. C. A 60-piece orchestra. Give up? No, the answer isn't that they all eat cheese. The correct answer is they all use sound to grab your attention. The orchestra needs sound to play a symphony, the mouse needs sound to squeak, and your science teacher, well, just imagine there was no such thing as sound. You couldn't listen to a boring science lesson, and she'd never get to tell you off. That would be tragic. For animals, sound is equally vital because, just like us, animals use sound to pass on vital messages. Just imagine what would happen if your dog couldn't whimper when it was time to go out for walkies. You might forget to take him out. Silent message. Time for walkies on a sign. Smelly message. Smells. Speak like a scientist. Scientists have their very own language which only they understand. Now's your chance to learn a few key words, and afterwards you can sound off and amaze your friends and silence your teacher with your word power. Enormous amplitude. This means how loud a sound is. Stronger sound waves mean louder sounds, or greater amplitude. The word amplitude comes from ample, which also means big. Fantastic frequency. Frequency means the number of vibrations a second that make up a sound. A vibration is the scientific name for a wobble. These can be ear-bogglingly fast. For example, bats can squeak at over 100,000 vibrations a second. Higher frequency means that the sound is higher, which is why bats squeak rather than growl. By the way, frequency is measured in hertz, pronounced hertz and written Hz. So higher frequency makes more hertz. Tuneful tones. No, this has nothing to do with keeping in tone by physical exercise. A tone is a sound with just one frequency. Just to confuse you, most sounds have lots all mixed up. You can make a tone by hitting a special tool called a tuning fork on a smooth surface. Music teacher keeping in tone in the music room. Tuning fork. Gardening fork. Music teacher keeping in tone in the garden. Rumbling resonance. This is when vibrations hit an object at a certain frequency. These make the object wobble too. The vibrations get stronger and stronger, and the sound gets louder and louder, until it can sound really deafening. See page 28 for more details. Happening harmonics. Imagine plucking a guitar string. The string vibrates in several ways to make one main tone and several lesser ones. Harmonics are the lesser tones that help to make your playing sound tuneful. And if it isn't, your music teacher is going to get a hammering headache. No, haven't you ever heard of harmonics? Or aren't they a bit like a mouth organ, miss? Got all that? That'll give you something to shout about in your next science lesson. But here's something you can make an even bigger noise about. Just imagine what it would be like if you became a real-life pop star. I'll die if he looks at me. Scream, gasp, weep, we love you. Isn't he gorgeous? Shriek, I love him. Sob. Now's your chance. Could you be a pop star? You don't need too many qualifications to be a pop star. Although talent helps, it doesn't seem too vital. Just so long as you actually enjoy music and dancing, you could be the latest, hottest, biggest, new pop sensation. But you'll need to be ready to record your first hit single. To find out how, read on. To show us the technical side of the business, we've hired, at great expense, top DJ and record producer Jez Lisman. And to help explain the vital background facts about sound that any budding pop star needs to know, we've recruited scientist Wanda Y. Yo, Wanda, interested in cool music? Yes, but I'm also interested in sound science. Step 1. Sound systems. Silent soundproofing. When you record a hit record, you don't want to pick up the sound of next door's TV. Jez's sound studio is lined with a thick, high-tech sound insulator to keep out unwanted noises. Okay, it's only cardboard egg boxes behind plasterboard. The soft cardboard soaks up the vibes like a nice, comfy pillow, and they get lost in there, which is why it's so quiet in the studio, except when Jez opens his big mouth. Mighty microphone. This is what you'll need to sing or play instruments into. You'll need to get quite close to it, so you can call it mic for short. Here's the mic. Amazing, an acousto-electric transducer. And here's Mike, the studio cut. What Wanda means is that the microphone turns sound into electric pulses. Amplifiers and loudspeakers. Your mic would be pretty useless on its own. Thanks to the mic, the sound of your fabulous singing is now in the form of electrical pulses. And you can't listen to pulses, can you? Well, you could, but it would be about as thrilling as listening to a hairdryer. So you need a loudspeaker to turn the pulses back into your own groovy tune. And an amplifier makes your tune loud enough to hear. Sometimes a bit too loud. Yeah, they're giving me great vibes. And they're giving me a headache. Dreadful expressions. Jez and Wanda are still talking. So you've got a woofer and I've got a tweeter. Are they talking about their pets? Answer, no. They're talking about loudspeakers. A woofer is a loudspeaker that only plays low-pitched sounds. A tweeter is a loudspeaker that only plays, you guessed it, high-pitched sounds. Still want to be a star? Jez and Wanda will be back later on to give you more sound advice. Dreadful animal sound quiz. Imagine that you were a small animal. What would you do in the following situations? Remember, your choice is a matter of life and death. Choose incorrectly and you might end up as a tasty snack for a larger creature. 1. You are a South American possum, a small furry animal with a grasping tail that lives in trees, and you meet a Brazilian screaming frog. The frog screams. That's how it got its name, oddly enough. What do? A. Eat the frog. It'll take more than a scary scream to put you off. B. Run away. The frog is warning you that there is a dangerous animal nearby. C. Back off. The frog is telling you it's poisonous to eat. Answer 1A. The frog is very tasty, by frog standards that is. It's only screaming to put you off while it hops to safety. 2. You're a North American ground squirrel. There's a rattlesnake in your burrow and it's after your babies. You can't see the snake, but you can hear its sinister rattle. It sounds surprisingly high-pitched and slow. What do? High-pitched and slow, high-pitched and slow. It's in here somewhere. Hurry up, Mom. A. Run for it. The rattle warns you that the snake is big and poisonous. Yikes, the babies can fend for themselves. B. The slow rattle means the snake is moving slowly, so you've got time to dig an escape tunnel for yourself and your babies. C. Attack the snake. The rattle proves the snake is smaller than average and rather tired, so you might just win the fight. 3. You're a lapwing, a bird living in a swamp. You hear a loud 3-note call from a redshank. That's another type of bird. What do? Squawk, squawk, squawk. Hey, keep the noise down, pal. A. Go looking for fish. The cry tells you there's food nearby. Answer A. You should be ashamed of yourself. Answer A. Go looking for fish. The cry tells you there's food nearby. B. The call is a warning. There's a gang of crows in the way, and they like to eat your babies. And the red shanks. You join a posse of other lapwings to fight the invaders off. C. Nothing. The cry tells you rain's on the way, and being a swamp bird, you're not scared of a drop of water. 3B. It's a warning. Get ready for a fight. Looks like feathers are going to fly.